Hi there. Welcome to Craft with Kathie. I have an excellent project for tonight. Sorry for the pun, I just couldn't resist it. And we'll be using the Happy Easter Egg and the Somebody Loves You transfers. And basically, I'm going to be using a surface that I've never shown you before, but you can use pretty much any design that you want, either spring or maybe Easter related or bunny related for this. I'm going to focus on these two just so that I'm not doing a whole bunch of different projects. I think once you get the gist of the idea, you'll be fine. The main thing that you need to focus on or to remember is we need to be using our surface wax because we are going to be chalking on paper or a paper product, if you will. And I've prepped a couple already. Let me grab one to show you, and then we're going to jump right on in here, trying to decide which one I wanted to go with. I've done these in a couple different colors, and these are 8 cartons. Now they're obviously paper products, so before I chalk on them, I must wax them. Otherwise, I run the risk of my transfer sticking too strongly to the paper, okay? So you must wax before you chalk. And if you look closely here, you can see that I've waxed this inside. I'm going to put the Somebody Loves You right on the inside here. And I've actually painted the cover. Now, when I painted this, I didn't wax it. I just painted it. Once it dried, I waxed over the top because I'm going to put an image on top of this. So every time you do something, if you're going to lay something on it again, you want to wax it again. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do the inside using the Somebody. I'm just going to grab this transfer off of here. I have so many things around me because I couldn't decide on which cartons I want to use. But isn't this a great idea? And I've got my little fuzzing cloth, so I'm going to fuzz it. Now this is paper, so I would fuzz it more than I would normally. But remember, I have waxed it. You want to always wax before chalking on paper. I'm coming at you from the suburbs west of Chicago, where we had a nice, warm, sunny day today. Pretty amazing, right? Been waiting for spring. Okay, I'm going to gently press this down, make sure that I don't have any air bubbles in it. There was a little air bubble there, but it wasn't underneath the silk screen. So there we go. And I am going to use my vanilla paste here that I used the other day. Remember the little tip of using the press and seal to keep your paste airtight. So I'm just going to grab a little paste, and I want to work fairly quickly here because I don't want this transfer sitting on the paper product on my egg carton for a long time. So I want to move pretty quickly with it. Apply the paste, smooth it over, make sure I have everything covered. I might have had a little air bubble there. I noticed things were moving a little bit on me. Remove the excess. Put the excess back into the jar. See if I have that covered well enough. Got a little more excess paste right here. Been a very exciting day around here today. It was the debut of Tiffany Thiessen's collection. Oh, isn't that sweet? Somebody Loves You. How simple was that, right? Now, you might be saying, well, what could I do with these? These make a perfect substitute for Easter baskets, especially for people a little bit older than young children. You can actually put a little fake grass in here and maybe throw in candy, bracelets, rings, jewelry, just about anything you like. Gum. Wouldn't this make a nice little gift package as opposed to a childish looking little Easter basket? for the older children in your life or even for the adults, right? So I'm going to add the Happy Easter to the cover. Now remember, I've already painted this and I've waxed it. My big thing is, what color do I want to do this in? Should I do the, I'm going to do Strawberry Swirl. Why not, right? We'll see how that looks. So let me, of course, fuzz this first. Now our transfers are adhesive backed, silk screen, reusable, and this is the little backer, so just roll your hand across the edge to lift it off. Then you want to fuzz it. And then I'm going to apply this. I want my wording to be pretty straight. My egg is a little crooked, but I want my wording to work. Okay, so I think that'll work. This is Strawberry Swirl. Isn't that a beautiful color? And once again, the process is the same. I just want to work fairly quickly because this is paper, and the adhesive on the paper, the longer it's on here, the stronger it's going to stick. So I want to move it a decent pace. But remember, after I painted it, I waxed it. So that'll help a little bit so it doesn't also stick quite as snugly. It acts as a barrier between the paper fibers and the adhesive of the stencil or transfer. So yes, Tiffany's new collection debuted today. It is beautiful. She worked very closely with chalk on the designs, really got into it. Made a lot of the projects in the photos herself or with her friends. They focus more on springtime. Spring and food, I would say, are the big kind of things in the collection. And she's pretty excited about it, as we all are. She ran into chalk a few months ago and absolutely loved the product. Okay. Time for peel and reveal. What do you think? Hey Deb, I am making alternatives to Easter baskets. I might want to add something a little bit more to that, but I'm going to clean this up real quick. Just going to spray it. Now obviously you could bring this over to the sink and wash it, but I'm going to do it here with my board eraser. And then I want to use a disinfecting wipe to get any remaining chalk paste off of the back. I don't like using the board eraser really on the adhesive. I'm afraid of diminishing the adhesive too much, so I just use a disinfecting wipe. But you could just, if you don't have a board eraser, you could actually massage the paste off of the transfer or stencil at the sink with running water. So I want to make sure I have all the excess paste off. And then I'm going to go over and remove the lint that I deliberately applied with the fuzzing cloth. And I do that just by going over the transfer in one direction and lifting any of the lint off. That's all it takes to do that. And then I'm going to put this aside to dry while I work on something else. I don't want to put this egg carton anywhere where it's wet because, again, it's paper. But we've got the Happy Easter on the outside. And on the inside, the Somebody Loves You. So I'm going to set this aside to dry. And grab another one. Got lots of ideas for these, and like I said, I was like, okay, which one how am I going to narrow these down a little bit? Hang on, I don't want to have a little avalanche. I've got a stack of egg cartons and transfers sitting here. I was actually thinking of also using the Easter egg patterns. They would work very well with this. Here's another one. I have waxed inside also and painted the outside. What do you think? What color should I go for with this? What do you think would be a good background? I think the peach might be a little bit too light. Metallic eggshell blue. Ooh, wouldn't that be pretty? Let's try that. Let me open this up. I was afraid of getting too involved in too many transfers here, but like I said, anything that's Easter related would work. Oh goodness, let's see. How about this one? Now remember, I painted it and then I waxed it with our surface wax. So let me fuzz this transfer. I haven't cut these apart, so I'm going to fuzz the whole thing. And you could actually go crazy with this. There's no limit to the variations that you can make on these designs. I think that's one of the fun things about it. Deb is saying use the Mauvelous. No, I'm not going to use the Mauvelous because it's a lighter pink, and I just don't think it'll have enough definition with the background the way I have it. But what I'm also going to do, I need to move this over a little bit. I don't have it quite lined up right. Maybe that's a little bit better right there. Whoops. I think these would look great with a border around them. So I might very well just add a little bit of a border, maybe a polka dot border or some little flowers or something like that. And I'm definitely going to be using these other two that I have out here, but probably not tonight because they're a little bit, they have a little bit more detail. And I like to make my projects when I'm live a little bit briefer. We've got a balanced diet, chocolate in both hands with this little bunny riding a bike. And then the storybook bunny, which I think is just absolutely sweet. I might actually do this tonight. I wasn't going to, but I have to quit talking because I have this sitting here on paper. So I don't want to leave it stuck too long. And of course, this is a new jar of paste, right? Oh, isn't that eggshell beautiful? So let me get moving. No dawdling when you're working on paper. So tell me, if you've seen the Tiffany collection, what are your favorite pieces? I fell in love with the pillows. Her and a bunch of her friends took our pillowcases and dyed them with vegetable juice. Kind of like beets to get a nice soft pink and whatever. And then used some designs on them. And I think they are so adorable. Here's a quick little peek at the pillows. Aren't they amazing? I just absolutely love them and couldn't resist sharing them. Let me just get the rest of the chalk off of my squeegee here. Make sure I have everything covered. Okay, time for peel and reveal here. Oh my goodness, it's Tipsy Tuesday and I didn't even think of Tipsy Tuesday. I forgot. Let me move this up so it could dry. I'm going to clean this real quick. I'm going to make sure I don't spray my egg cartons. Now, being that I fuzzed the entire thing, I will go over it and take lint off the entire transfer. Just need a little bit more room here. Oops, definitely not what you want to do. If you ever get your transfer stuck together like this, very gently nudge it apart. If it doesn't want to release, bring it over and put it under lukewarm water. Oops, I did it again. Trying to rush too much, right? You want to make sure you get all that lint off so that it's nice and sticky when you go to use it next time. I'll set this aside to dry, sticky side up. Whoops. And when it's dry, I'll put it back on its backer. Let me find a flat surface to let this dry on, and we can continue. Think this needs a little border? What do you think? It needs a little something, right? I'm just looking through what I've got out here. I don't know if I want to use that or not. Let me find something else. Actually, if you had a chalk marker, you could actually do polka dots with a chalk marker, would work fine. Or even a paintbrush. But I'm going to actually grab a border from another transfer that I pulled out. I wasn't going to use it tonight, but that's what happens. I'm getting a little carried away. Now this is called Quilt Patterns, and it's perfect for if you're a quilter and you want to put some designs on some plain fabric. This will work great. So I think I'm going to grab, I don't know if I want to use the little flowers there. I'll see. Yeah, I'm wondering about the blade on these trimmers. It might be shot. Not what you want to use for opening up Amazon boxes, right? Okay. So let me fuzz this and we'll add a little bit of pattern to the first egg carton. Now, I'm not going to go over the area that I just chalked that is drying right now. I'm going to go over an area that was painted and waxed. If I wanted to put something over this egg, I would wax it before I put another layer of paste on it. So always wax in between your layers of paste when chalking on paper. And I was going to do this in vanilla. I don't know if it's really going to be dark enough in the vanilla or not. My background's pretty light there. Let's see. Do I want to go with the pink? Maybe we'll just add a little bit more of the strawberry swirl. Why not, right? Somewhere. Here's my squeegee. And I could be a little haphazard with this. I don't have to be perfect because I don't necessarily want it. I want it to look a little distressed, so I might not get all the dots there. Putting my squeegee in my covers here. So it adds that little bit of design to the edge. So won't these be ideal containers for either adults or adolescents or the older children? Fill it with candy or little trinkets, hair scrunchie, jewelry, just those little things. Actually, a bunch of things probably from the Dollar Tree or the dollar store might be great also. And it's just a cute little container for those that are a little bit too mature for the traditional Easter basket, don't you think? Add some crinkled paper or grass and a bow, and you're good to go. I just stuck my finger right into wet paste. Not intentionally, but that's me. Yeah, I think that gives me exactly what I was kind of looking for here. I'm going to just put this right in the middle and just try and get a row of dots. It's a little crooked. Straighten it out. Just a little bit of interest to the edges. It's a little hard to see. I'm going to try not to stick my finger right in it. And you could add as much or as little as you want to it. I don't know. Maybe it needs a little something else. What do you think? And what do you think this one? How about some flowers underneath that? This is from the Some Bunny Loves You. In retrospect, I realize I really needed something a little bit darker than the ivory that I used there. So I'll probably maybe use gold or whatever and just chalk it once again. Of course, now I have to remember to wax it before I apply that transfer and chalk it in a different color. So I will do that once this is dry. Just needed something a little bit more, a deeper color. Today's the last day of the free shipping with any $125 or more order. And if you'd like to save 30% on your crafting supplies, sign up to become a Perks member. Perks members get 30% off. It costs $20 a month for the subscription. And in return, you get a $20 credit every month. And in April, we are going to waive the transcription or the monthly fee. So you'll get April, and you know what, I'm not going to do that there. I think I'm going to leave it alone. You'll get April for free because I'm going to add, actually, bows to all of these to tie them up. So I really don't need to cover every little area. This is small enough that I'm skipping the board eraser. I lifted a little bit there, a little bit of the paste. It wasn't quite dry. I should have waited a little bit before going on with the next step with this, but do as I say, not as I do. You want to work quickly when you're working on paper, but you definitely want to make sure that it's dry before you add another layer to the design. And you could use a hair dryer or you could use our drying tool. Either works really good for drying your surfaces or drying the paste. So what do you think? Isn't this a nice alternative to Easter baskets? Quick and simple. And I love the Somebody Loves You inside. I'm going to add that to this one once the top is dry. So thank you for watching. I just wanted to give you another idea that you could do something a little bit differently. Won't these look great with some maybe raw silk ribbon or something in a bow? Just an idea. Or you could actually use jute or twine or whatever, or an elastic cord would be fine. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you soon.